Okay, let's take some time and figure out how to make these prints thicker. And at the same time, we want to be able to print those base layers much faster. So if we start off with 0.08, or let's just go to 0.04, for instance, because a lot of times we want super high quality images, we go to 0.04 for our layer height. We know that we're going to print the first millimeter at 0.04, which is going to take forever. And we don't want that. We want to print the first millimeter much higher. So let's talk about this. So you know how to make things thicker. This right now is only, the black is like 0.24 minimum depth plus 0.6. So that's like 0.3 millimeters. So it's going to be real flimsy. So what I'll do is, you've already seen in other videos how to create a thicker print, is I'm going to add 1 millimeter to each one of these. So this will be 3 and this will be 1.24. Now, that 1 millimeter that we're adding needs to be a multiple of this. So if I make this 0.08, that's not going to work as well. You need to make it either 0.1 or 0.4. 0.4 obviously works. 0.505 works as well too. Once you've done that, you need to go over here, and this is 0.6. So you need to add 1 millimeter to that. So that needs to be 1.6. 1.6. See, if that's not an even multiple, you're not going to be able to get that perfectly. That's the purpose for that. This is 0.76, so that's 1.76, 2.32, and 2.96, 2.08. And now you see we have the same exact image, but we've got a thicker version of it now. So once that's done, we just save project, marytexmas.p, and now we're going to jump over into Bambu Studio. Now that we're in Bambu Studio, we want to make sure we select the right device that we're going to be working with. Fred, it's got 8 different colors. I go over here, I always click this button and say resync. Make sure all these colors are correct, and then we'll go ahead and add our file. And here it is. We open it up and it loads it. And so that's what we've got. Now, if we go in, we look at the size of this, we'll see it's 200 by 2.92 millimeters. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and slice this with the right setting. So I'm going to go into here under global, and I've got an actual setting for my 0.04 HueForge Bambu. And that basically shows the layer height of 0.04, first layer height of 0.16, and standard stuff like the fact that it's got 100% infill density. And I also can move the prime tower around. I change these numbers as I need to. So with this the way it is right here, the first thing I'll do is let's select it and let's go into the object, and that's going to be black. I would select it and hit 2, and that changes that to black, and then I'll slice it. Okay, now that it's sliced, we want to go ahead, and we haven't changed anything yet. We just want to make sure we set all these up. So at layer 37, it says to change to dark brown. So we'll go up to 37, right click here and say change filament, go to the dark brown. And then at layer 41, scarlet red. So we'll go up to 41. We're going to change filament to scarlet red, which is this one. And then at layer 49, grass green, it will say change filament. We don't have grass green here. Let's just make it blue. We'll make it blue for now, just for that. We'll have a blue color. And then at layer 55, let's go to layer 55, and we're going to make that white. And then we'll reslice it. Okay, now that we're done, let's just go ahead and pull this all the way down. And as you can see, we've got this purge tower that's in the middle of it. That's what this area is, but I'm not going to worry about that right this second. I'll get to that in a second. What I want to do is look at this and see we have blue instead of green, and that's really what's going on here. And what I'm going to do is turn off the seams, right? I don't want this stuff. And let's just look at it from top down. So let's move this around and let's grab a screenshot of this area and let's save it. Notice that total time for printing is 10 hours and 10 minutes. It's a long time. So what we'd like to do is we'd like all this black stuff to be printed at 0.2, or at least the first layers before things start printing at 0.04. And so let's talk about how we do that. I'm going to go back to this, and let's just move this over here. Let's make it, we're going to turn that into a prime tower. That's the width is, let's make it like 8. Yeah, something like that'll fit. I think it'll fit. Yeah, that'll fit. And then we want to make this maybe 10. So there you go. So that the prime tower fits fine there now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this, and I'll be in the objects mode, and I'll right click and I'm going to say height range modifier. Just do 1 millimeter. Okay, yeah, 1 millimeter. Okay, so let's make that from 0 to 1. From 0 to 1, I want to change the layer height to 0.2. So now I need to add another modifier. And this is from 1 to 3. As you can see, that's already set at 0.4. So that's set correctly. This one's set correctly. So now let's go ahead and let's slice it again. Okay, now we're done. And notice that our printing time is jumped down to 8 hours and 20 minutes. And let's go ahead and let's rotate this and take a look at it. And if we look at it and we compare it to the one we took a picture of, which was 10 hours and 18 minutes. So we knocked off almost 2 hours time in printing. And you can see it's actually pretty close to the same, exactly the same. In fact, it is exactly the same. And you see that, yeah, everything here is exactly printed the same. So from here, I can just go ahead and print and everything is good. So just wanted to let you guys know about this technique. It's a really good technique for optimizing the thickness layers. Hope it helps you. And thanks to Cyanide Sugar for suggesting to use the height range modifier in the Bambu Slicer. See you online. Bye.